What is up, guys? It is Uncle Bob. How's it going? Welcome to the channel. Welcome back. We are here for some more Final Fantasy. And Final Fantasy 3. And yeah, we're just continuing the finale run of this game, which has sent me now back to the beginning 3 times because I have not gotten good, apparently. So, after 3 attempts at doing the same thing and it not working any of those 3 times, new strategy. We're going to explore, because there's a ribbon in that one area. We're going to see if there's any like OP gear that's going to be anywhere else that we can also pick up. There's 4 other branches, 4 other paths. So there's a really good chance that we'll get some more gear. New weapons. New whatever the fuck. Whatever the fuck. So, we're going to do that. And hopefully gain a level or 2. And we're going to tackle the bosses in a different order. I am going to not partake in the fighting of the Echidna first round, because that has not worked at all. And at the very least, at least one of his spells I forgot what I was going to say. Whatever. The fact that, you know, I've had one ribbon for a while. That second one will help. I still do think that I want it on Ingus because, or maybe I want it on Refia. There is a part of me that kind of wishes I had heal 4 on Refia, though. See, I can trade, but that's not really... Oh, never mind. That just swaps the whole spells. Yeah, that's not gonna really be all that helpful. Christ. Alright. Can I keep him alive? You are not who needs to be attacking right now. Thank you. Alright, everybody got their experience, though. That's the important thing. That's the important thing. That's the thing we need. We need those levels. We need that experience. We need the skills. Alright, that can just use a couple of cure 1s. Alright, fuck it. One of those guys I can afford it. This is very unnecessary. Weave. So I think I've finalized how I want my the little political project I have. I think I kind of got how I want to approach it. I think I'm going to... I'm going to basically use the next 2 years as like proof of concepts. Just to see if what I'm going to do actually, what I want to do will actually work. Now, obviously, it has a much higher chance of working in the state that I'm in, because the state I'm in is a blue state, and I am very blue. So, obviously in my state, this is a much more overall downhill battle than what it may be in some other states. All those like big battleground states, those are pretty much 50-50. That won't be, that wouldn't be the hardest. Red states, it would be interesting, but the concept is there. I have a concept of a plan, since that's good enough for some people apparently. But yeah, I think I just want to get my state working and see if I can actually do this. And it's not like it really takes a whole lot of effort. It's just like, I already have the date that I want to do it. I mean, you could do it at any time, but I feel like, my whole goal is, I basically want a multi-level marketing scheme up like the world, basically. But without trying to bribe people with money. Because I don't know, with America the way it is, I need the left to be more personable. So I need them to be interacting more, including with people who might not always agree with them on everything. Especially because, people who are going to be in the middle are going to be pretty crucial into getting this to work. And the only way to get more personable is to start speaking to people. That's the only way it's going to work. It's the only way it happens. But I also want like a legion of people that will argue on behalf of their politics. Because it's that kind of like learning how to talk and learning how to conversate and learning how to argue. Like, that's how you can help boost your own morale as, an entire movement. What? I have not seen you. Who are you? A yellow dragon. Get the fuck out of here. Yeah, petrified. Get the fuck out of here. I don't know who you are. I've never seen you here. I've been up and down this dungeon. Onion sword. Did I just get a rare drop? 384. Oh, the onion. Okay, it can. only be... Yeah, I'm not going to bother with that. That sword could totally fucking rule. But the plan I got going right now does not involve it. We're just going to hope it's not too broken. And that I don't, hate myself later. Rude. But I don't want people to learn how to argue though, being dickheads. I do want it to be it's a persuasive effort. It's an effort to get people to connect with you over the things that you believe, because ideally you believe in them and you want other people to believe in them as well. So it's going to be, learning how to teach people how to, appeal to people on a variety of issues. It's much better when it's not being done, behind a screen where there's not a person there. This can help you feel like you're really, connecting with them. Mm-hmm. But that's something that I think the left really needs, is to become more personable. Because I've said this before. Because the right is a lot more religious, literally, they are much easier sheep to flock together. And they just, when it comes time for election season, they're just out there voting. Always. They may not agree with certain candidates all the time, but when it comes time to vote, they're all there flocking together the way that they ought to. And, you want things if you're on the left, if you want things a woman's right to an abortion or trans rights or whatever the fuck it is that you want, you at least need people in office, in power, who have those same desires that can work with you. Because you're not working with somebody on the right currently with these sorts of things. The concept of actual personal freedom means nothing to them. They just want the personal freedom for rich people to fucking hang on to more of their money. Impressive. That's the freedom that you really care about. So, because the left is the way that it is, I don't think it's gonna... They just don't flock to a personality in the way that the right does. They don't look for by nature, the left doesn't look for a dear leader in the same way. Those kinds of personalities can still capture an audience on the left. Of course it can. They're not immune to it. But it doesn't take root so easily the way that it does on the right. And it's just a fundamental different way that the two different political, ideologies, we'll say. Just the way that they operate. Not even on this is on a personal level. With the fact that the right is more religious, they just... It just makes them good little sheep. Unfortunately, the thing that the right doesn't realize as a voter base is that, they call themselves, a flock to, Jesus as the shepherd. Listen, I think it was Christopher Hitchens that said this, as he did many atheistic things. A shepherd doesn't flock the sheep together because he loves them. He does it, to fleece them or kill them. Or fuck them, I guess. Fleece them, fuck them, kill them. Whatever it is that they want to do, that's usually what it's for. So, you're not gonna catch me wanting to be a part of this crowd, but it's just the way that the right operates, and the left has a hard time really getting behind anyone. Like, the only thing that I want to be in the business of is getting people in offices, in positions of power. That's the only thing I care about. That's the only thing that matters. That's the only thing that needs to matter. We don't need to be worried about anything else. I don't care if the kind of left-leaning-ish, fucking white dude bro next to you isn't for, I don't know, is like completely shut off from the idea of reparations. Like, I don't really agree with reparations either, but like, that's not a thing that can be like, well, you know what? I can't vote for that guy. Listen, when the primary comes around, no matter what it is, state, local, whatever, national, during those times, that's who you vote for. When it comes like basing it off of your principles, that's what primaries exist for. Vote solely based on your morality when it comes to the primaries. Use those times to push the country and your area, however big, more left-leaning. Absolutely. But once it's election time, and that's the time that I'm going to be concerning myself with, it's time to do what you got to do. Voting isn't a symbol of morality. It is a civic duty. Because, if not, you can be the wokest person next to the mass graves all that you want. But, that's not going to help you. That's not going to help the people that are actually, for real, in harm's way with a lot of this stuff. A Democrat in Oklahoma may not be for all of the same LGBT rights. And that may on a national level suck, but we have to remember what this is all for. I guarantee you, a Democrat governor of Oklahoma, you can make much more inroads with regarding these issues than you're going to get from a fucking conservative. Absolutely. And it's not even close. So I'm going to be doing like what I'm basically calling Project Home Base, I guess, is like the big thing to consider, like to think of it as. My entire goal is going to be just trying to get people in my state to do this as well. And like I said, I'm going to multi-level marketing scheme it. It's that easy. Monday will be the day. Every Monday, you start a journey, or your job in that, starting that Monday, to find one more Democrat-leaning voter and convince him or her that they need to be voting and they need to be at those polls come November time. And not just that they need to be there. You need to join in on the project too. That's the whole goal. It's not just getting people to vote. It's also making sure that we get people who are interested in getting other people to vote. Now, most people who are serious, that's fine. That one person you're weak could be one of your family members, especially if, you might live in a city and most of you are probably left-leaning. Boom, there you go. Somebody who's on the fence, it's like, that's the kind of person that's like, all right, well, you're on the fence. Like, what's up? What do you need convincing on? What do you think is an issue? And say how the left is better on that issue. To me, the only thing I don't think the left is better on is guns. And that's because, growing up with a military dad, I'm very much pro-gun. I'm also very pro-gun regulation, but I'm very pro-gun. I'm not fucking pretend like I even want to take people's guns away. No. I would like a database. And I don't even think certain types of guns should be illegal. I'm that American. I think Americans should be able to have fully automatic weapons. But there's a lot of tests and things that I think should come with it. The uncle, like we all know the line, we all know the rule, we all know how we're supposed to operate. But I want to be a part of the left that is all nothing to do with wokeness, quote unquote. I'm very much for trans rights and stuff like that. Like most people on the right would call me a woke fucking demon. But that's not a part of what we're doing. No voices need to be minimized. None whatsoever. Everyone has say. Everyone has pull. But I don't want any of this fucking dickhead. I don't want none of this bullshit to deal with, people who aren't of electoral mindsets. I don't need any of those kinds of people. I need people in the business of getting people elected. If you don't care about getting people elected, then ultimately, you want your politics to be done on, a hope and a dream. And, I don't know if this is a very common phrase, but I know it's one that my parents used to tell me all the time. And that's hope in one hand and shit in the other. See which one fills up faster. And that's really the truth. There's no amount of hoping and wishing that politicians would just be more left-leaning. If you want your politicians to be more left-leaning, then you need to vote for them. And if you don't get it, your next goal isn't to just not vote at all come big election time because, I don't agree with their politics. I don't agree with Joe Biden and his stance on the Israel and Gaza war. I think it's a genocide. Oh yeah? Well, guess what? Because you don't want to pick between genocide light and genocide, as you call it. Now we have Israel talking about when Trump takes office, because they know the kind of support they're going to get from him, that they're already raring up so that way they can start annexing part. I don't know which area is it of where the settlements are in the West Bank, but they're talking about annexing more of the West Bank. I tell you what, if you're on the left and you disagree, now if you're on the right and you hear that and you're like, fuck yeah, based, we disagree. And I think you're a fucking goblin on this. But if all of that sounds like, you don't want Israel to be annexing the West Bank, well, guess what? That's what you not voting because, your quote-unquote good conscience or whatever, that's what it's gotten you. Now, because of that, more of their territory gets lost. Now the goal of, at least my goal for Israel-Palestine is for Palestinians to ultimately have their own true autonomy as a people. To have their own nation state. At this point, I'll take 2 nation states. Fucking Gaza and West Bank separate if I need to. Like, whatever. Whatever works at this point. But, you know, if you don't get the exact thing that you want, you don't let the opposition take over, which will, like, then make things worse. Because I've gotten into this argument with people on the left ever since the election. You know, especially friends I have that are Muslims. And they're like, well, you know, I know a lot of my friends that they just couldn't vote in good conscience. Well, then to me, I think your good conscience is fucking worthless. Because what did it get you? What did it get? I mean, some of these people I'm talking to, it's like, what did this get your people? This got them nothing. This got them farther from autonomy, farther from freedom. This got you no closer to not a thing. Nothing. Nothing did this get you closer to your goal with. Because ultimately, if the fact that the opposition would actively annex land, if that's not enough to motivate you, then I don't think you really care. You can't care about something and then be that indifferent to the outcome. Now, other people that, you know, I feel like I can accuse that of, usually it's because they're very, very white. And it's very easy to levy that against them because it's true. But no, this is only about the business of electoral power. That's the only thing that I'm concerned with. In the primaries, push the party left. Push the country left. I'm fine with that. If you're in a red area and, you know, you don't really have an option, you have like a more centered person than the other guy, you go for the more center one. It's whatever nudge left you can make. Whatever there is. Because the goal has to be getting people in office. The goal can't be anything other than that. Nothing else matters. Nothing else comes even close to mattering. But like I said, that's going to be the whole goal. The whole goal is going to be, I already have the week that I'm supposed to do everything there. And, yeah, I'm just really excited. Especially because, you know, there's a good chance that the image that I have of what I want to bring, because to me, it's not just a world for me. It's a world for my children who live in it now, a world for my grandchildren, and hopefully my great-grandchildren. Like, I want everything to be set up for them to live a life that I think that they deserve. But the only way we're going to get that, as people who agree on what kind of lives we should lead, obviously the right doesn't agree on this. And they vote accordingly. And the only way that you're going to put a stopgap to it is to do it back. And, you know, the next 4 years are going to suck a lot. But the goal is definitely going to be, like I said, for me to take charge of this state, as lofty a goal already as that is, and get people motivated. Because, like, politics is a never-ending game. It never ends. There's never a point. There's never a thing like Trump said, well, like, after this, you won't have to vote again. That's never going to be the case. You're always going to need to vote again. Because there's always going to be somebody who will go the other way because they don't agree with you. And that's fine for them not to agree. We're here to make their lives better too. But the only way we're going to get there is by voting. So that's why I'm in a multi-level marketing scheme. Every Monday, the goal will be you have 7 days to convince another person to join. That's it. And the further along the line you are, the less people you have to convince. You know, in my state, I've already done this before. In my state, there's just me. And then I get another person. Then we both get a person. Whoop. God damn it. And we both get a person. That's, well, I guess 2 folds, but that's 3 rounds, 4 rounds, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23. This is more people. This is almost all the people that voted in our last election in my state. 23 people. 23 and me. So the goal is going to be trying as hard as I can, once the designated time comes, that get people in my state motivated. Get them out there and be like, hey, every week you only got this many people that you got to recruit. Obviously, if you're in, if you get recruited in this round, you only got one person, because you're going to be getting adopted right before the election season, like a week away. So yeah, obviously I'm going to have the most goals. I'm going to have to convince what? For me, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. God damn it. And I lost track. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 20, 21, 22. I have the most work. I have 22 people in my entire state that I got to convince, not just to vote, but to get somebody else to get out there with them. Will multiply in time, my friends. And as stupid as that is, and as basic as that is, I feel like a ground level movement that is just about people, not about a figurehead, not about anything like that. I think that's the only way that we have a way forward. And like I said, these next 2 years are going to be proof of concept. I'm going to see how it works in the next bout of local elections, and then after that with the bout of midterms. And if everything looks good there, then we start. And who knows, maybe by that point it might be too late, but you know what, we're going to get started. There's work to be done. And like I said, I may not even see the end of the bit of work that I want, because the bit of work that I want isn't just, it doesn't end where I think it will end. At that point, that's where the real work can begin. Because the first thing we got to do is undo like 25 years of like rampant conservatism in American politics in the weirdest, most Christian and gross nationalistic ways. Really since 9/11. So basically, yeah, we got a lot of work to do. So, but I'll be back tomorrow with more Final Fantasy. So till then, guys, peace.